Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Radha Bishi Pralat Lakshmi Shingadev Bhagavan Jai Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Hari Bol. Jai Shri Caitanya Shri Caitanya Jai Vrinda Caitanya Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Go. Ja, ganz beides. Okay, haben wir jemand, der für Hari Buchi Matachi Sutra against was? Oh, jetzt kommt Gambira. Dieses Deutsch oder Englisch? I call it devotee. Immediately see the. In was für eine Richtung magst du denn übersetzen? Ins Deutsche. Alle in Englisch verstehen. Mutter Gambira. This is always the difficult international movement that we have to figure out how we. As some of the world, there would be the. So we're reading from the. And somehow or other, it's always what. In class, because I don't have to go to kindergarten. Little I have to go kindergarten. Sorry. Hat sich wahrscheinlich kein deutsches für in teilt. Sevasta sanadana Sevasta angikara Niya Babara Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. That new dress, Sanatana did Angela Prabhura of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, unlimited happiness. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Chandra set of garments, Sanatan Goswami, but Sanatan did not accept news of this. Unlimited happy. Where we are. In which city we are? Yes. Yeah. Caitanya-caritāmṛta? Yes, Benares. Right. Actually, he was a runaway. Yeah, but even like me. So his clothes were also a little bit torn pieces. Much so that he went out to look for Mahaprabhu. On outside, only a Muslim man. So he looked quite dirty. He was not really recognized by the devotees. Mahaprabhu, of course, Sanatana Goswami, my dear servant, and they sent Sanatana Goswami after they created, and of course he made his sentences to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for a bathe in the Ganga, and then Chandrasekhar Prabhu, he offered him clothes. In India, sometimes you still have this when you come to a house of a wash your feet, and they give you gifts, and times or traditionally cloth, and you like a dhoti, something like that, and dhoti to wear, probably also a chadar, and but because in his mind he had renounced everything. Take sannyas technically in his he and so basically he took sannyas. Saw this new comments, and then he rejected. Hear this, it made him very happy. Why? We will find out. Madhya-līlā after bathing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Rameshwar for lunch. Pada Bhakshalana Haka Bhikshada Vasi Bhikshadeha Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he asked Sanatana Goswami lunch also. So Mahaprabhu for lunch by who in our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Mishakara Sanatena Anayara Kichukritya Aje Bache Tapana Mishat Sanatan has therefore accept lunch for now. Now, at apply Sanatan business to do, some duty. So, but I will from Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would like to have directly of Kripa Sindhu was new bhakta in the temple. I always because it's so nice. We also know who told you. You know, you should have always Mahaprasadam. Prachar Ananda. And Kripa thought, okay, that's an instruction for the next offering. The whole trove on a plate, in a box, some kind of paper box. So the whole Maha, we went in the wooden house, the bus stop. Hey, where's the Maha? Where's the Maha? Either. So, okay. Mishra Babura Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest for a while. Tapana Mishra then by Chaitanya. To hear what does it always? Eminence to Madhya-līlā Nutan Vala Denho Kaila Vedang. He spoke as follows: Vastra Ditya Tomara Hayaman Cha Paridana. You want to give me some according to your desire? Please give me cloth you have. So some give me some used cloth, old cloth. Tape Misha Puratana Deno Dui Bisa Kaupila Kaupina. Misha gave Dhoti. Sanatan immediately it to pieces of outer underwear. He took a dhoti. We all know how long a dhoti is. And he made 2 sets. One, dhoti. And then this again in half. So of lungi. I don't know if he also used something as kind of a chador or something, but probably not. They only had lungi. Then he made also under kaupin. Tradition. Came to the temple, they told us you have to wear, and still, and I think it's quite. We once also in Benares, how to call they for tourists, the big chillum. He was very eager to show me proof that he a sannyasi. His passport. In India, if they're recognized, has to recognize they're getting some kind of paper, made a thing with the, hairy, scary, fierce looking, something. And with it, they actually go in all trains. And some sadhu kitchens in India, you have kitchens who always provide sadhus, like in real Benares, I guess. Passport, and his underwear. I didn't my coping, but anyway, this is girls. Okay. Madhya-līlā Mahaprabhu introduced the Maharashtrian Brahmana to Sanatan for Maharashtrian Brahmana as well, and he immediately won charge Goswami attitude of a Vaishnava gentleman that is one body, and here he saw new Vaishnava get me somehow out of surface. Kumi yavat kashide rahiba agahe biksha ye kariba. As long as play. Okay. Ami madhukari kariba kene biksha. I shall practice the pro madhukari. Why accept full meals in the house of a purpose? Madhukari comes from madhukara, which is to bees collect honey from flower to flower. As a saintly person or a man who does not accept at one begs for taking a little householder. In this way, if householders trouble, the burden for the householders, the process by the is in their alms are offered. Unfortunately, Vrindavan followed the principles of Sanatana. People treat him and lead an idle life by practicing Madhukari. Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami, it is better to accept to Krishna. Try Swami. Okay, there's another. Related, mitigate all material pains by practicing the system. This is Gita's 6 sannyasis. So here we have Srila Prabhupada a little of actually what Prabhupada and what the honey from bee from flower to flower. Someone who is a sannyasi food from different doorsteps from householders. He has to do that. Prabhupada says it also here. This is the result for sannyasi, that he has to do it. To give blessings. But there's also why a sannyasi is also a result.
Socially, like in the first canto, Prabhupada says, a sannyasi.
Yeah. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what and Prabhupada says here, he's not lighting fire. It's not. It's for light fire because karma. This is actually the as we said. So he basically has no position anymore. So he's not supposed to. Therefore, he actually doesn't do ritual like or something like that. This is traditionally is not supposed to do. From for and one time I had some good fortune to stay a little in Vasana. Yeah, Vrindavan. And what is special about this place? Radharani, right? I must was very deep experience. What, I was staying here. Recommended that we somehow of Baba. So many Babas. Vasana is full of them, and so they on Naga, and we because we were two brahmacharis, we are trained, so we they didn't want to accept our money. Service. You go to the cows and pet the cow. So went there and 18,000 Yes, they're all roaming freely there. And what was also this was ate my clothes. They kind of everything was wet because they chewed on it. I felt very respect between 8. Of course, I did this, but for our all were white front, and we went out with them, and they on Sankirtan. They have their own mantras, and then they Krishna mantra. And then after a while they offered. They said, I said, I don't know. I said, no, Hare Krishna. I said, okay. And they were not quite, I mean, they really liked it. They knew it, of course, but it was kind of a thing. And I'm telling this is we went from door to door. Such a sweet, of course, we were the white, the house grandmothers and everybody came out, and they gave us all like chapatis in place, buttermilk, yes, and you have salty cumin, salt, something quite tasty, especially when it's hot outside. When it's when you give some salty buttermilk, is kind of what is this? But if it's hot, you really will. So refreshing. But the best is if they have sweet milk. That's what you get your stack of Rodleys and you get buttermilk. And you do this in every place with them. Some varieties. You had a whole and in the end when we Rodleys amongst all of us. It's so pleasing, it's so peaceful, because this is what Krishna gives you. It's meditation. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he changed a little bit the example. Gave the normally when you take sannyas, you take off your thread, but you also cut off shika. Yes. Because Varna ashram system, actually, because shika actually is for pre rituals. Okay, we follow Brahminical culture, therefore is what I, and he made it his trademark. So, but sannyas even ISKCON, they keep very short little sikh, even cut of that reason as sannyas. Yeah. Not yeah, what as changed it a little bit and said these items because our not that we more important to how to say sannyasis as than in any in any how to say order of one or so, and this is something in this situation. We think now, okay, that's Sanatana. Well, Prabhupada says clearly in the end of the purport, don't rip your toe and dhotis. According to time, place, and circumstance, that Sanatana Goswami, he took sannyas, he renouncing the world. Therefore, he was established social dress. Now, this is dress in India in this time, and here he gave items what gave them away, and later on there's one for the next class, whoever gives it. One thing is one thing came as well, how because none of them, even not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Goswami, nobody said, you have to, look, and put. No, they offered automatically. They offered this way, gave him invitation to why take something like that. So the dealings of Vaishnavas are very, very. But Chaitanya where not so sweet or criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have Mahaprabhu for example. Okay, this was back in Navadvip.
And he was Prasad,
in which Choya, right? He was eating but a sour Bauma. And his daughter, she had a husband. His name was Amoga. And Amoga finding temple. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife, they wanted to feed. It is a custom. If there's a guest, feed him. That's not let somebody without food out. Because when you Brahmana or yes, he takes karma. There's a class of Brahmana. What is all? Service. Sometimes people come, devotees come, Indians. Service can us. it's appropriate. You know, have some issues in inviting. So this is what you can. And so yeah, and his wife, they want. Brahmana has to deal with the karma if it's just a brahmana. But this is in Varna, this is duty, what they do. But why only can transfer Krishna? So your karma goes back to Krishna. That's what a Vaishnava can do. He is a good stand and everything that he can digest such things. They fed Mahaprabhu consciously, and then this Amur came out, but some wow, he's eating so much. Wife of Sarvabhauma Bhatta prayed because she had son-in-law criticizes him. Uncomfortable. Something comes to your house, make him feel comfortable. Don't make him feel uncomfortable. It's an offense, right? You know, somebody is feeding you, maybe, and you know, Mahaprabhu was not someone to eat lots. He accepted it because he saw that's you know of the devotees. I remember there was Vijayana Swami a long time, maybe 5 years at least ago or something like that. They cooked 108 preparations. No, and if you come outside and say, why are they cooking for one person 108 preparations? And each preparation he took a spoon. And for 3 days he could not eat much problems. But he's okay, that's the love of it's my duty. Mahaprabhu, I have to. Oh, look at this. Out of how this can be shy and on. So not devoted of think that oh, how unfortunate. You know, we have such a guest here and nobody who's related. He comes such criticism. He goes to hell because of this life. Pray. Oh. Ooh. Die. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he don't want to feel uncomfortable because he saw this and that. But then this Amogra, he catched because of the blessings of his mother-in-law. So be aware of mother-in-law. Myself. Some disease. Something, he catch some disease and he was about to die. He told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu him and said, I forgot. And in this way, see how the Lord even himself, he takes criticism. How to say have some criticism of the Lord and Chaitanya. Ramachandra Puri. Ramachandra Puri, godbrother of and both Ishwar Puri and Ramachandra Puri, they served their guru. And so Ishwar Puri, he was the who did everything, cleaned his stool. It's in art, it's in science. Actually, we as Vaishnavas should more and more. We have. So, and Ishwar was doing this. He was really of his Gurudev. And this means taking care of this as well. And he does this for you. You've so actually you embarrassed, because otherwise sit there in your, Then we have Ram, also disciple. Thought he's very advanced himself, and Madhavendra Puri, he was about that he to achieve the of a Vaishnava, that my life was useless. But what he was speaking, meditate. So angry. I try to connect Sri Krishna. You last for me, get out. He not only sent him out, he basically cursed him. The whole life he standing. He stayed in the family, and he ended up in was watching this young sannyasi. Imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a young sannyasi, and he let's say teachers get a second in his top of it for us, like teacher bhakti, let's call him like that, like what do you think you are? Of us would make, and maybe he's advanced in something, so we could, but we would watch him, see how advanced he is. Then we see teachers eating, gang, and then we will see how ice cream, and ice cream, Akila Prabhu, teachers, you know ice cream, right? So Ramachandra Puri watching, because now you see what is this here. But what else? What is comes also? They're coming in a long line. Ameisen. Ants came. Ants, he found ants in the room of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the if the sweets. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu me eating ice. Doctors coming and licking these ice cream cups. So I said, that's control is, Now you see how young he is. Take it. And then Mahaprabhu heard this. He said, okay. How much it was. He cut it basically in half. So he ate food in Puri, others, but mostly it was set a rule, Mahaprashadam, and proposed himself. He cut it into a quarter or something like that. Govinda, servant, Shishwa, I don't know. And he told this to the householders, you're not allowed not more than a little food, a portion of food. You cook, okay, Gopi Gita. To cook, and you go shopping, this and that, and you think, we will eat, and this and that, and just before you cook, fasting today, drinking only water. Then you will be what? Others became disappointed in a way. Of it, what happened? Thinner and thinner. Good. What all the Vaishnavas, they meditated upon Ramachandra Puri, meditated. Go away. Leave Puri. Leave. The reason why he had to leave Puri. Start. We want you to stay forever. Came from name. Some precious person. Stay forever. It's over. You have to stay forever. You're not able to leave. But actually, this is what we want. I don't know. Actually, what the devotees prayed in your association. If the devotees start to pray, go soon. Then that, because this means you go soon. All right? And this is what happens, and this should be aware, get the somehow or other. Swami said, and or the relationship what you have. This means there's something wrong with a relationship with Krishna. Then with another one, Mahaprabhu, he was by actually one very age, also older, but his name was with Swallow, but closed. He was, and his superior Mahaprabhu in some way but some uncomfortable because yeah, you should do it like this, you should do it. Also there was a boy in Puri, and he was a beautiful young. He always Mahaprabhu developed Caitanya-caritāmṛta or Krishna's career. Normal for a young boy to affection for young men, inspiring. Up to, like Choru has a. Which T-shirt do you have today? Very good. Or Spider-Man, or who's better, Hunter? Good. So he came and speaking with him, and they spoke. Pandit, he should not have so much association with this young boy. And many times he told, but this young boy had so much love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came in. Pandit was like, very good. He went. This young boy, you're always speaking. I appreciate, but young boy, the problem with his mother. My goodness, what's widow, and on top of it, he's a Brahmana widow. Yeah. And you, my dear Mahaprabhu, you are beautiful. Associating with the bring good for your reputation. So you after due course of time, he found some for Damodar Pandit. It was another service. Yes, he sent him. Huh? Maybe speaks through your heart. Yeah, he sent him. of the material affairs of his mother, because he thought, how to say, system in this, some help. So in your material affairs. And Damodar Pandit, very learned, you're very strict, all these things. So some to your parents, everything works, fills out all the forms and everything. So you could take care of her. So as service of his mother, because he was not out of envy. Actually, he cared about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but sometimes he felt a little bit in front of strict, and he tells me you have to be careful, always clear in the association, stop everything, appreciating everybody, and of loving friends. Association of Vaishnava was so sweet. Very Vaishnava third cultivate the tendency of finding faults. Actually, Robert says that the advancement you can see how somebody is advanced in teaching of Chicha. Huh? What? Yeah, this is what he said. Yeah, but it's actually well, this is that's how you somebody others is advanced. Has not a size others. None. Rupa Goswami was you approach the stage of you don't see any problem. Fine. Therefore, cannot preach. The preacher make different. Actually, when you really everything is under Krishna. Even in a person who doesn't, who point of view in some sense, but Hare Krishna. Sorry, spoke a long time. I ask you, I'm also big fault. Also a big still my heart looks like their room, Murari's room. But Charu promised me, and I say this here, love to the world. The room. So please, your blessings, give all of us in your and some of you can life. Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnava family. Comments, Chandrasekhar Acharya.
name, so it's interesting how is based on external. Chandrasekhar, who's also considered to be a pure devotee. Chandrasekhar could not think also of the story of Mukunda, who told Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and who could not recognize it was. And so in both these, in that, devotees who don't know that story, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, dream of Sanatana Goswami and being in total luxury, and judged him, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, based on visible externals, and then Vidyanidhi simply going in complete ecstasy just by. So these should take very seriously. Remember, we should finding fault in others is and about this temple, this doesn't happen here, but I've seen other communities where devotees are literally because they may not be sari or not wearing a literally type of. And so we should take heed and really be careful not to on external things like drugs. And we have these at least two leaders on this consciousness.
Yeah, but it is. It's difficult. We background find faults. Literally, you've been trained to see the weak point opponent, and you have of not what trains you, right? And of course, this mentality to on opposite, everybody else above him. So something what we embrace movement. And not only that, I saw in other religious people who are kind of having issues, and Prabhupada said this is like a hospital, so don't expect people in a hospital, right? So these things come out, but more we as Harikata and the whole of us, and so that's sometimes embarrassing for everybody. A person, I can't say myself wind it up with something because the same who could not understand, he was criticizing the brahmanas of the Jagannath temple by giving Jagannath